As the Chicago Bears officially begin organized team activities, OTAs, this week, there is one question hovering over Halas Hall louder than the rest. What will Caleb Williams say? For the first time since a detailed ESPN report cast doubts about Williams' early interest in playing for Chicago, the rookie quarterback will be speaking publicly. While the focus this week should be on football, getting back on the field, building chemistry, and learning the playbook, it's what happens off the field that will likely take center stage. The ESPN story, written by veteran journalist Seth Wickersham, outlines concerns from Williams' camp, especially his father, about the Bears' organization. According to the report, Williams and his father were initially skeptical of Chicago's ability to develop quarterbacks, weren't convinced by then offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, and even considered trying to steer Caleb away from the Bears entirely. These revelations, though largely known behind closed doors before the draft, are now in the spotlight. Williams hasn't responded yet. That silence has left Bears fans with a lot of questions, and even more opinions. Should he confront the story directly? Should he avoid it altogether? Should he clarify what was said and what wasn't? It's not the kind of distraction a rookie quarterback or his new team wants at this early stage. But the timing of the report, coinciding with Williams' first official media availability since being drafted, forces the issue into public view. This isn't just about cleaning up a storyline. It's about managing perception, trust, and leadership. Even more than his skills on the field, how Williams handles this moment could shape the tone of his rookie season. It's an early leadership test, one that goes beyond football. To understand why this moment is so important, we need to revisit what was actually said in the ESPN article. The report by Seth Wickersham wasn't just a random hit piece. It was part of a broader feature meant to accompany a book release later this year, and it pulled together multiple quotes and insights from Williams, his father, and others in his circle. Among the main takeaways, lack of trust in the Bears' quarterback history. Caleb and his dad reportedly questioned whether Chicago could properly develop a quarterback. Given the franchise's long struggles at that position, this wasn't an unfounded concern. Doubts about Shane Waldron. Williams wasn't reportedly sold on the offensive system under Waldron, who had just arrived as offensive coordinator. In the report, Williams is quoted as saying, "I don't know if I can do it with Waldron." Interest in Minnesota. Williams and his father were intrigued by the possibility of playing for the Vikings under head coach Kevin O'Connell. They reportedly explored scenarios where that might happen, but nothing materialized. Pre-draft maneuvering. Williams' father looked into ways to avoid Chicago, even reaching out to Archie Manning, father of Eli and Peyton, to explore how Eli had once avoided being drafted by the Chargers. The comparison was clear. Final decision. Despite the concerns, Williams went through with his pre-draft visit to the Bears and reportedly told his dad, "I can make this work." That comment seemed to mark the turning point. Film study concerns. During last season, the report claimed Williams sometimes lacked direct guidance during film sessions at USC. He told his father, "I just turn it on. No one really is showing me what to do." That part reflected more on his college environment than on Chicago, but it raised concerns about the coaching he received leading up to the draft. All of these details were shared before the draft, but they've only now been made public. The Bears didn't seem overly concerned at the time. They did their due diligence, hosted Williams for an official visit, and ultimately used the number. One pick to make him their franchise quarterback. Still, the report paints a picture of early hesitation and skepticism. It also shows that the commitment to the Bears wasn't always guaranteed. This is why how Williams responds matters so much. It's not about rehashing old doubts. It's about how those doubts were overcome, and whether the quarterback everyone is now counting on is truly all in. So now comes the real question. What should Caleb Williams say when he steps to the podium? The answer is simple. He should be honest. This isn't a time to dodge, deny, or spin. In fact, doing so would likely make things worse. If Williams pretends none of this happened, or worse, claims it was false, it could spark even more criticism. The quotes in the report are direct. Some come from him, others from his father. It's hard to argue this is all fiction. Denying the report outright could put Williams in a tough spot, calling a respected journalist a liar, discrediting documented quotes, and feeding a narrative that he's not being transparent. That's not what the Bears need from their new leader. What they need, and what Bears fans deserve, is clarity and ownership. There's a clear path to move past this. Williams could open his first press conference by addressing it unprompted. Something like, "Yes, my dad and I had concerns before the draft. We do our research. We plan ahead. That's who we are. We weren't sure Chicago was the right fit. But after visiting the team, talking to the staff, and meeting with Ryan Poles, I knew I could make it work here. I've been all in ever since. And now I couldn't be more excited to be a Bear." If he says that, sincerely, the story likely ends right there. Sure, reporters might ask a few follow-ups. They might ask what he liked about Kevin O'Connell or why he wasn't confident in Shane Waldron. But those are easy answers too. O'Connell is a young, creative coach. I liked his energy and system. But that didn't happen. And now I'm with Ben Johnson, one of the best offensive minds in football. I'm lucky to have him. Honesty isn't just a good PR move, it's the right move. And this early in a career, it can build trust with teammates, fans, and the media. Because here's the truth, almost everything in that report is understandable. Williams's doubts weren't outrageous. They weren't a sign of selfishness or arrogance. They were the concerns of a young quarterback and his family trying to make the best decision for his future. That's what any family would do. The only thing that can hurt him now is pretending those concerns didn't exist. And Williams doesn't need to worry about proving his commitment anymore. The Bears have built around him. They hired an elite offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. They improved the offensive line. They added weapons at receiver and tight end. On paper, this is the most quarterback-friendly roster Chicago has had in decades. If anything, the Bears deserve credit. They took the concerns seriously and answered them with action. Now it's up to Williams to answer with words, and then let his play do the rest. If he speaks honestly and confidently, the conversation shifts. This won't be about what happened before the draft anymore. It'll be about what happens next. And if that includes Caleb Williams thriving in a Bears uniform, nobody will care what was said 15 months ago.